think the involvement that we see for the star performers in my client base are the ones that embrace technology. They're not fearful of it. You don't see a reluctance on them wanting to make the investment in the technology. So they're willing to treat it as an investment rather than a cost. And so, that's probably the biggest thing. And the elements, I guess, and the components of successful IT sort of adoption and technology in those more successful firms is the ones that are focused on knowledge capture. So the ones that can really sort of get a better understanding as to how do we get the knowledge out of the heads of our people into systems like the wikis, the way that we sort of even work together as teams and getting that out in the open. So there's a trail, there's a transparency about how these things come together and how do we actually capture that knowledge in a way that people have policies and processes, not just, court and lever arch files, sitting on a bookshelf, that sort of type of thing, but genuinely a component of the infrastructure where if people have a problem or trying to understand how they do things in a particular environment, they can go to a particular source of the intranet or those sorts of types of things and get an answer. And so they're the sort of businesses that I've seen more successful, and they're the ones that are willing to communicate and be vulnerable in those types of environments. And that's where you see the communications and the elements, I guess, of the data that they capture and are very much aligned to business goals, as opposed to maybe just another way to do email or another way to have conversation. So Slack as an example, without trying to give away product names or something, as like people go, oh, we'll use Slack now, but it's really just replacing email chat. It's not integrated to the business. Whereas if you look at systems that very much have a focus around, okay, what are the priorities of the business? Where are we heading in relation to as a business? How do we make sure our decisions line up with that and we put that in front of our employees more often? Or how do they access the right sort of type of decisions and maybe precedents of how things have been done before? They're the clients that have been more successful I've seen in a coaching context, but is also linked to the ones that are more embracing technology.